Winnie's smelling the questions, you know, to make sure they're okay. I thought you guys might want to see her. It's hard to see her when I film in this. Oh yeah, she's gonna sit right there. She'll be kind of in the video. Get lots of questions about Winnie all the time. Winnie's doing great. Thank you to so many of you who ask about her. She's great. I just don't film sitting at my bed anymore because of the lighting. Like honestly, I just can't be bothered to bring out my ring light, so you can't really see her when I'm filming because she's usually sitting like right next to me, or she's fast asleep somewhere and I don't want to bother her. So she's doing well. Thank you for asking. I am back with a Q&A. I try to do these seasonally, so this is my spring Q&A, although it's not like themed or anything, but I asked on Instagram. I got lots and lots and lots of responses. I asked this morning. I tried to leave quite a bit of time, but there's a lot, so I need to cut it off. And I'm gonna try to go through these as rapid fire as possible. As I say in all of my Q&As, I apologize if I repeat myself. I try not to re-answer questions I've already answered recently unless a lot of people ask them, and then I'll just try to address them briefly. But my version of briefly, it's not very brief. I'm never brief, let's just put it that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through. I'll pop in the questions on the screen so you can see them because I'm gonna talk as fast as I can. All right, here we go. Will you show us your daily routine? Honestly, that would be a really long video. And I did basically daily routine style videos for the, like every few months for the first year of Donnie's life. I did like a 3, a 6 month, a 9 month, and a 12 month, and like a day in the life video, and that's a routine. I'll do another day in the life at some point. It's on my list. I do want to do a week in the life video too and see how that goes. So yes, it won't necessarily be a routine video. It would just be more like a day in the life, but I am a creature of habit and my days tend to look very similarly structured. What did you go to college for? I studied art history and psychology. Not really, yeah. I don't know if you could say that applies to what I do now, but maybe. Does Charlotte ever fight her nap? If so, how do you handle it? I wouldn't say she fights it as much as sometimes she just doesn't take it, and that's okay. She's at the stage now, she's a little over 3. She's almost 3.5 actually, and she's at the stage now where I say she takes a nap probably about 95% of the time, but 5% of the time, maybe she doesn't sleep, or we skip it because we're out doing something, and it's not a big deal. She does turn into a cranky mess though, so that's how I know she still needs it in general. But we've started allowing more toys and things in her room, and she's super, super, super into books right now. So she is allowed to have some books in bed with her, and she'll flip through books in bed, and she does this at night too. It takes her a long time to wind down and fall asleep. And it's not because she's getting too much daytime sleep. People say that. Even when she goes to bed late, she does the same thing. So it's really just her personality and that she needs to wind down in her own way. And everybody does that differently. But I just say, you know, you can do whatever you want as long as you are in bed in your room until the resting period is over. And as she gets older, that'll turn more into kind of a quiet time rather than a nap time, because I think it is important until she's older, to have some downtime, some alone time, some downtime during the day, and mama needs it too. So that's how I deal with that. What was the hardest thing about being a new mom, and how did you overcome it? Honestly, and I think I've said this before, I found motherhood immediately after Charlotte was born to be so natural and so challenging at the same time. It just felt like second nature, but that didn't diminish that it was challenging, because it is a complete flipping upside down of your life. Especially, like, I never had younger siblings or any really like younger family around to take care of. I babysat and stuff in high school, but that's a little bit different than taking care of somebody like on a consistent basis. So that just being a mom for the first time, I think, is challenging in its own. For me, a lot of it came naturally, which surprised me, but the thing I would say that was most challenging was the lack of sleep. And it's not just the lack of sleep for the last month of pregnancy and the first few months of, you know, the newborn months. It stretches on. For me, for both kids, it wasn't until about 9, they were 9 months old that I felt like I was sleeping an adequate amount for me, which is on any given night I get between 6 and 7 hours. And to me that's like, whew, that's a lot, that's good. We'll take it. But before that, I was living on 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and it just wasn't quite enough. And that was the most challenging part for sure, because when you are tired, it affects every cell in your body, literally, and your emotions, and it's just something that was very challenging to navigate, but absolutely worth it. And I wouldn't change it for the world. How do you feel about your age? Do you think the 30s are better than 20s? Abso-frickin-lutely. I'm telling you, girl. I'm not going to sit here and like complain about having a tough life or anything, because I really do think I've been very, very blessed, and I'm very, very aware of my blessings. So that doesn't mean I haven't had personal struggles and turmoils that I've had to overcome, just like any other person, regardless of your situation. Situational things can definitely complicate things, and I honor and respect that. But that doesn't diminish the things I've experienced myself. And I would say my 20s were definitely a huge learning curve for me. There was a lot of struggle. There was a lot of personal turmoil, inner turmoil, and I think that's very common. Maybe not for everybody, but a lot of people in your 20s, you feel like you should be an adult, but you still don't really feel quite like an adult. I mean, I should say, I can only speak on my own experience, right? On my own, what happened with me. I felt like I should be an adult. I should have my you-know-what together, and I just didn't feel like it at all. I felt really, really lost in so many ways. And I'm telling you, I felt like the day I turned 30, something switched in me. And I feel like that's a little bit cheesy to say, but some switch flipped. Some flip switched? No, I don't know what I'm saying. Something flipped. Something changed. And I suddenly felt kind of like an adult. And like I could handle things and pave my own way and be there for myself in ways that I was never emotionally able to in the past. And since then, I'm 36, if you don't know, it's been just an upward journey. Lots of stumbling, of course, lots of pitfalls and setbacks, but so much growth and so much moving forward, and just so much more self-support. So 30s are way better than 20s, in my experience. Would you consider a future job as a wedding or event planner? You would be great. Thank you. I haven't considered that before, but I do like throwing parties. I love the organizational stuff. I love planning parties and kind of getting everything organized leading up to it and thinking of all the elements that go into it. So maybe that would be a thing to do. Did you always know you wanted 2 kids? How did you and Don decide on how many kids to have? I always knew that was my sweet spot. I completely applaud the people who can have more than 2 and do it with grace. I just don't. To me, my heart feels very full, and I feel like I can really be present with both my children and still work on my life and my work, right? What I do here, and also be a good wife, sister, daughter-in-law, friend, or try to be at least. I don't know if I'm good all the time, but I do strive for that. So I feel like there's a good balance with 2. And Don always felt that too. To be honest, he had once mentioned when I was pregnant with Donnie, before we knew he was a boy, he said, if this isn't a boy, we'll try for another, right? And I said, no, you get what you get. So I think he would just really wanted to at least have a boy and a girl, and he would have, I don't know, but he's happy with 2 because we have a boy and a girl. So he's happy now too. And every time we see any couple with more than 2 children, we both are like, wow, how do they do it? So I think we're very happy with 2. I hope that answers your question. I will say also that it was important to us to have at least 2, because we wanted our children to have siblings, to have a support, or at least one sibling. Workout routine. Is this interesting? I've definitely been amping up my workouts. I started working, it's been about 6 months now since I really started working out on a regular basis since having Donnie, and really since having Charlotte. I mean, a really regular basis. I work out 5 days a week for an hour. I do a combination of cardio and HIIT, kind of strength training stuff, just body weight strength training. I don't lift or anything like that, although that's something I'm interested in pursuing down the line. And I do yoga every day. But that I don't really consider that a workout. That's more for my mind. So is the working out. But the yoga really just helps me kind of keep loose in my body and my mind. Do you wish you had bought into DVC sooner? If you asked this Don question, he would say, yes, I wish I had done this a decade or more ago, because we would already be reaping the benefits of it. Don did the math, and he claims it's about 10 years before it starts paying for itself. If you go on a regular basis, and obviously we've gone a ton in the past decade. So short answer, yes, but I'm in the camp of everything happens for a reason, and the timing of things is how it's supposed to be. So we have it now and we love it. Do you miss going to Utah by yourself? So if you're not familiar, my husband's family has a family home out in Utah in the Park City area that we love, and we go twice a year now with kids. We spend about a month there in the summer, so usually the month of August, and we go for a week and a half or so between Christmas and like when the New Year holiday is over, when the winter break is over. And it's my happy place. I love it there. And before we had kids, I would go out quite a bit. Now, of course, Don has a day job here that he has to go to, so I would go out just me, and I love traveling by myself. It is something that I do want to do again someday when the kids are a bit older. I mean, I just went to Go Wild, the planner conference, if you saw my video last week, by myself, but I wasn't really traveling by myself because I was there with 1,400 other friends. But I do love traveling by myself. I took myself to Paris. I've been to different parts of the US by myself, and it's just something I enjoy doing. I like my own company. I hope that doesn't sound weird. Anyway, I used to go to Utah maybe in the fall and in the spring for a week or so, or two even. I don't even remember now. It feels like forever ago. I'd bring my dog, of course. And I loved it. I wouldn't say I like actively miss it, because I am just so overjoyed to have my children in my life, and being with them is my ultimate everything. But every once in a while I think of those days and in a nostalgic way, and who knows what the future will bring. They are growing at rapid, like lightning fast speed, and I know that before I know it, they'll have left the nest and be on their own, and I'll be like, what happened? So that's not my priority right now. Traveling by myself is not definitely on my list at the moment, but in the future for sure. Any plans to do another handbags and accessories charity auction again? You guys, I had this plan I had two plans. My first plan from a few years ago was to do another handbag and accessories charity auction, which I've done, I think, 2 of in the past. And I just had so much trouble last time with eBay and dealing with that and trying to authenticate my higher end stuff with them. And it was such a headache and so I didn't do it for a while, and I have had things like ready to go for some sort of charity sale for a while, and it just wasn't going to happen. And so I found like a local charity shop that you can sell that sell those sorts of things for you, and then they donate directly to charity, and I thought that's perfect. And then when I did my closet and accessories purge, people were like, I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to buy that. I'm like, so I'm feeling a little conflicted. Honestly, it's a little bit more time consuming for me to do it myself than I think I have in my time budget at the moment. I'm a little stumped on what to do, but I will figure it out and I will let you guys know. If I put things up on Poshmark, if I sell them on my website, if I just decide to go through the charity auction shop, I will let you guys know. And thank you for your interest. Please show how you use your Easy on the Go foil. Well, I just stood up and got it. It was just on my bureau over there. This is the Easy on the Go foil, if you're like, what the heck is that? It's basically a form of a planner that is reminiscent of a traveler's notebook. They can't call it that because that's copyrighted, but it's Erin Condren's version. This is a beautiful one. It's made out of gorgeous vegan style leather, and I have 4 notebooks in mine. I have the Daily Petite Planner, I have the bullet journal, which I put my collections in, because if you're not familiar, I was in a bullet journal for 2 years and I loved it, but I wanted to try something different. I was ready for a change. I have the wellness journal, and then I have a journal. That's what I do, my like little daily notes about cute things the kids did and stuff that's happening in my life, and my daily gratitude practice is all in there. I will do a video on this. I wanted to live in it a little bit longer because I've only been in it for just about a month. So I think in a few weeks, I want to have a couple months really settled in here. I don't like to share anything with you guys until I've really settled in and I'm sure I'm committed to something. And I'm very committed to it, but I'm just going to give this a little more time. So I will share that. I got lots of comments about that. So that will be coming up. When are you going to work on Organize Your Office Craft Room? I can't wait. Okay, confession. I've been putting it off again. At the beginning of the spring, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm going to do it. And honestly, you guys, I have been putting it off. It overwhelms me. And I'm a little embarrassed to show it. And I've been upfront about that, and I'm going to continue to be. That makes me want to share it even more, to be honest. But I'm also just overwhelmed by it. So I'm going to do the mudroom. That's coming up on Friday. That video will be here at the end of the week. And then I want to tidy up like our toy storage and stuff. And I've been asked to show how I store the toys in the house. So I'll probably do a video on that. And then we've got a lot of travel coming up for summer. So we'll see. I kind of feel like I need a little purging break. But I'm doing it this year. You guys have to hold me accountable. If I don't get to it by the end of spring, summer's going to be a little nuts with our travel schedule. I'm going to tack it in the fall if I can't get to it before then. It is happening. If it hasn't happened by October, I want you to all message me and be like, where's the office organization video? Where's the office purge, Jen? Come on. So hold me to that. Halloween. I'm counting on you guys. Keep me accountable. Is there any place you're looking forward to traveling to with your kids? The question is there any place I'm not looking forward to traveling with my kids? And the answer is, I can't think of one. I want to take them everywhere. We're waiting for them to be a teensy tiny bit older, just to be better at the actual traveling part. It's just a 1 and a 3-year-old. The 3-year-old's pretty good at the traveling part now, but the 1-year-old, it's going to be like another year or two before he's kind of figured out how to be on an airplane and not be a complete disaster. So yes, we are going to be going somewhere. Oh, why are you so awesome? You guys are you're so sweet. I'm an introvert. Me too. I get very overwhelmed in loud crowds. How did you handle Go Wild? So honestly, I used to be much more sound sensitive in my 20s when my anxiety was higher on a day-to-day basis. I feel like in the last few years, I have made huge strides in crowd management in terms of like managing myself in crowds and being okay with that. I do get a little claustrophobic sometimes, like in a very crowded elevator or when we're at Disney World and it's really packed, like shoulder to shoulder. I can get a little claustrophobic, but I've become much better in my 30s, again kind of harking back to that question, about managing myself and breathing through things and talking myself through things, just in my inner voice and my inner dialogue. So I would say that a lot of my progress with managing social anxiety, crowd management, feeling overwhelmed in situations like that has improved by practice and a lot of very conscious, dedicated work. And it's just years of therapy and years of personal dedication to it, keeping at it, keeping up with myself, and self-support. Back to the self-support. Who are your favorite painters, artists, and why? So as I mentioned, I studied art history, and I love art of all genres and types and eras. But my personal favorite, and this might not seem very exciting, was the Hudson River School. And this is landscape art, particularly from the mid-19th century. Thomas Cole is probably my all-time favorite artist that I studied in school. And I just love nature and that feeling of big nature, that feeling of grandness of the earth. I Sounds so cheesy. But that kind of art really speaks to me because of that. So that's my favorite art. You can look it up. It's almost like photographs, but to me it really celebrates the grandness of landscape, the vastness of it, and just the sheer beauty of it. And to me, that's everything. Do you have any life regrets so far? Ooh, we're getting deep. Am I still recording? Yes. I think everybody has regrets, right? I mean, what is life without regrets? It's just part of life. And yeah, I have some. I'm not gonna like spill all my tea today or whatever the kids say. But of course, I'm human. I have regrets. But really, when I think about them, I don't know if I can really call them like absolute regrets, because I'm not sitting here or at any given day really wishing my life had gone a different way. Like, no. Even the things that have been difficult or are difficult or whatever, to me they've been teaching moments, and to me that's just part of life. There's great things that happen, there's terrible things that happen, and to me it's all part of the experience, and I'm grateful for it all, because all of those experiences, whether I regret them or I treasure them or whatever the story is, they all contribute to this life. And I am so grateful to be alive and to be experiencing this life and to be grateful for it. I'm grateful to be grateful for my life. I hope that doesn't sound cheesy. Couple questions about friends. One, do you have close friends that might pop over at your house or that you spend time with? This is something that my heart desires for very, very much. I am so blessed to be surrounded by my immediate family and Don's immediate family, and we spend a lot of time with our family, and they are friends to me, right? And I do have friends, despite what anybody thinks. I do have friends, but I don't actually have like any legit local friends. So no, I don't have friends that will come pop over to my house, and this is just a dream of mine. I absolutely treasure the friendships I have. Consider this. My work is online. So the connections I've made through work, and I think that's where a lot of people make friends in their adulthood, has been with people who live not even all over the country, but all over the world. So I haven't really, I work from home. I'm a stay-at-home mom first and foremost, and then I also, have my content as my, what I do. And that's all from home, and that doesn't lend itself to a lot of going out and making friends with lots of people. That being said, Cece's now, she's in preschool now, and Donnie will be in school in a few years, and I feel like I really want to get involved in school in the hopes to make connections for sure, and also I just want to be involved in my children's school as much as possible, because that's important to me. So hopefully there'll be some connections that I can make there. But I do feel very, very blessed by the friendships that I have. And if you've been, I'm trying to unlock my phone with my face, and it's like, I don't know your face. If you've been following me this year, I do follow the One Little Word project, and this is an Allie Edwards memory keeping project. Basically what it is you pick one word that it speaks to you, and that's a word you carry with you throughout the year, and there's prompts and a class and everything. You don't have to do that. You can do it just on your own if you want. My word for this year was connect. And I feel like I've truly honored that word, and I continue to honor it. And I am just excited about where this journey with that word has taken me, even in just, 4 months or whatever, 5 months. I'm really pumped about it. One of the other questions was, did you make friends recently? And yes, I feel like I have been really working on friendships, especially connections with the planner community. Such a great community, and I love it. Like I said, I was at Go Wild last weekend, and I got to connect with people that I talk to a lot, online or through texting or whatever, and I don't get to see pretty much ever. So it was really nice to connect with people in person. So there's definite movement there, and it makes my heart sing. How excited are you for Christmas? Is it Christmas yet? I'm so excited. So excited. Where did you go in Europe? Let's see. In Europe, I have been to parts of Italy. I have been to parts of Switzerland. I have been to parts of Brussels. I've been to parts of the Netherlands, parts of England, Ireland for a hot minute. Love to go back. France. I've been to Paris. I haven't been anywhere else in France, have I? No. I think that's it for what I've been visited in Europe so far. But again, plan to take the kids. So many plans. I have such a long travel bucket list. Do you and Don have any more renovation plans for the house? I don't think Don ever really has any renovation plans for the house, to be honest. His renovation plan would be like to put in a golf simulators and like a mini golf course somehow. But that's just not going to happen. Honestly, the man wouldn't notice if I painted the whole house black. He just doesn't notice those things. And he's just happy if I'm happy with how the house is. Anyway, we redid the kitchen. That was kind of our big renovation project a couple summers ago. Love, love, love it. We redid the mudroom, so you guys will see that at the end of the week. And we just kind of repainted. We refinished the floors, that sort of stuff. I would really, really love to do our bathrooms on the second floor. I would like to redo the kids' bathroom. I think we have the room that we could put in a double sink, and I don't like the color. The colors are what we bought the house with, it's been like, 13 years or something. I don't love it, and I want to update the master bathroom just to be more current. But those aren't things that we have to do. There's nothing like pressing because we don't have any issues, knock on wood, where we have to, like gut anything for plumbing issues or anything like that. So that is in my short, long-term plans. So maybe in the next couple of years, not this year, but maybe next year or the year after that. Do you have gray hair yet? If so, will you dye it or embrace it? I don't. I keep thinking, it's not something I think about on a daily basis, but every once in a while I'm like, do I have any gray hair? No, I don't. I feel like it's coming soon. I don't know. I know it varies, but I'm 36, so is it coming soon? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I've never dyed my hair. I've never even had highlights. I'm such a chicken. I should get highlights, right? I've heard that makes your hair thicker, or at least look thicker. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I feel like I will embrace the gray more in like my 50s and 60s, but maybe through my 40s, I'll want to dye it. I honestly don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I will let you guys know. You guys will know when I have my first gray hair. I will advertise it. I won't hide it. How do you deal with going away from the kids, struggling with leaving my first for one night? I remember the first time that I left Cece was for Go Wild, Nashville. And it was really difficult. It was really difficult. I felt like, I don't mean to sound melodramatic, but this is literally what it felt like as a newish mommy. She was 15 months old, 16 months old? 15 or 16 months old, by the way, so I wasn't that new of a mommy. It felt like I ripped my heart out and left it with her when I left. She was absolutely fine. She was happy as a clam. I was gone for, I think, 2 nights or 3 nights. Now I can't remember. 2 or 3 nights. She was fine. She was great. And she did amazing and didn't skip a beat. I was happy to know that she did miss me a little bit. You're always happy to know that they miss you, but you want them to be fine, right? It's a weird thing that happens. But anyway, it was challenging, but I knew it was important. I knew it was important for me as an individual, for her as an individual, and for our relationship. And I do think it's important to have a little bit of space every once in a while, to do something that's breaks your routine, that takes you out of your comfort zone. And going to a big conference like that definitely used to be, a few years ago, it was even much more challenging for me than it was this last time. But it's never easy leaving the kids. So this year, I've been to a couple of planner conferences. The Chicago Planner Conference, I was really only gone for them for one whole day. That was very difficult, even though I was like a 20-minute drive away, right? 25 minutes, no traffic. That was still really difficult. And then this past weekend, I was gone for 3 full days, and that felt like a big deal. And it was really, 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 really tough to leave. But then when I was there, I was so busy, and I kept getting lots of updates of how much fun they were having, and they were having a great time. My parents and Don's mom pitched in when Don was at work, and then Don took over on the weekend, of course. I don't really have any advice for this. I think my advice would be just to embrace it and do it, and it will be okay, and it will be good. It would be good for you both in the long run. I truly think that. I think that's for any like really committed relationship where you're with somebody more often than not. Like if you're in a partnership, a marriage, a child, you know, a roommate situation, whatever. If you're living with somebody, I think a little distance is good, even if it's really hard. And know that they'll be okay, and you'll be okay, and you'll come back together, and everything will be great. I have to laugh at this one. What are some new trends you're into? Girl, I don't even know what a trend is. You tell me what the trends are. I don't know. I don't know. Could you ever really live in a tiny house? I mentioned this in one video at some point, that one of my kind of fantasies is to just live in a tiny house or live in a really small house and just have a lot less stuff. And I know that sounds really weird coming from me, like the queen of stuff, right? Although I've been getting rid of a lot over the past couple of years. I really do think I could, and I really do think it would be awesome. I don't know if that's something that will happen in this lifetime. I really don't. Who knows what the future holds, right? Who knows? But I think I could do it, and I think I could rock it, and it would be super fun to organize. Are you doing Vlogmas 2019? Girl, it's May. Let's burn that bridge when we get there. I did do a version of Vlogmas last year where I just posted a lot more frequently and tried to do some more vlogs and things. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to answer that yet because that is a long time from now. Any meet and greets in the Chicago area? I've seen you in Target before, but felt bad to say hi. You should totally come say hi. I love meeting people. Please, if you guys ever see me anywhere I'm not like dealing with like a toddler meltdown or something, please come say hi. Please come say hi. I'd love to meet you. We should do a meet and greet. I've been getting this question a lot lately. Let's think about that. How could that work? How could we make that work? Let's think about that. Do you have a regular date night? I wish we did. We need our sitter, who we love, is just very busy. She's like an ultra runner. She does a lot of marathons and races, and she's just very busy from like spring through fall. So we were seeing her maybe twice a month in the late fall and winter months when she wasn't as busy, but now she's super busy, and she also might be moving away. So I need to find a new sitter. I really like her, and the kids love her. So it's hard, when you find somebody you like and you trust. So we haven't had a lot of dates lately, which is sad. I like to have like one at least a month. I feel like that's important for just our relationship and keeping our separate bond from our children, just going well. So it's something I definitely need to work on, is finding a new regular sitter. But what we do like to do, and this is since having children, is go out to dinner and then go to the movies. And I'm telling you, it is so luxurious. It feels so luxurious to go to the movies. I don't know if that sounds like a lame date to me. It's like the ultimate evening out. We go eat something yummy. We have a nice chat. We kind of connect and chat, and it's fun. And then we go sit next to each other in a dark theater, and we just relax, and we don't have to worry about anybody waking up or anybody needing a drink of water or having to go to the bathroom or has a stuffy nose or whatever. All the things that happens when the kids go to sleep at night. And just relax. And we really there's a local movie theater that has really nice reclining seats, and that's my favorite thing. Don really likes it too. Is Donnie's Lovey not as used as Bunsey is by Cece for any reason? So if you're not familiar, Bunsey is Cece's Lovey. I did a whole blog post on it. I'll throw it up in the card if you guys want to see about it. It was something that was very important for me to provide for her as a super mama attached baby as an infant. It worked really well for us. And with Bunsey, we brought Bunsey everywhere. We brought him everywhere, and he still goes everywhere with her. She's 3. With Donnie has a similar one. It's basically the same. It's just an elephant instead of a bunny. But we keep it in his bed. And this has been somewhat intentional, I would say. I haven't brought it everywhere with him. He is definitely not as sensitive and as needy as she was throughout infancy, so I didn't feel like he needed that extra support. And also just kind of keeping it as a nighttime, like a bedtime thing for naps and for sleep, which is kind of what I thought it would be with Charlotte going into it, but then I quickly realized that it was helpful to have, she just wouldn't go in the stroller, she wouldn't go in the car seat without panicking, so that helped a lot with her for that. Donnie hasn't needed that, so that's the main reason we don't bring Ellie, is what we call it, everywhere. But as he's getting older, he might grow more attached to his lovey. He also has a flat fox thing. He has 2 loveys that he sleeps with, and he loves his blankie. So he actually really has 3 loveys, but he only has them in bed. If he ever really, really wanted to bring them out of bed as he gets older, he totally could. It wouldn't not be allowed. But I'm kind of waiting for him to ask, since he hasn't needed it like she did as an infant. Do you drink alcohol? I just wanted to address this really quickly because my answer has changed since the last time I answered this. I did start drinking again. Not like I drink on a regular basis, but I will have a glass of wine a couple nights a week if we go out to dinner or if we have a family thing. Whereas I did not drink a drop, basically, when we started trying to conceive with Donnie until he was fully weaned. Same with Cece. I did not drink a drop when I was trying to conceive with her, so that was like a few years, and obviously throughout pregnancy and then postpartum until she fully weaned. And honestly, I just had no desire for it. My desire for it with both kids, in any capacity, my desire for it came back about a month after they had fully weaned. I think that's just, I try to follow my intuition with that one. I have a very, 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 very low tolerance, so I can only have a teensy tiny bit of alcohol without it really affecting me. I do not like being drunk. I don't like it. I don't like feeling out of control in that way at all. So I just have a little bit when I feel like it. It's only been about a month, to be honest, and it's not on a regular basis at all. But I did get asked about that, I think the last time, and my answer has changed, so I thought I should say. Are you still doing yoga? I try to every day. I miss every once in a while, but I've been following the Yoga with Adriene monthly calendars. I'll pop a link to that, her monthly calendar below. The practices are great. They're very low-key, they're very accessible, and they're pretty short, relatively speaking, so it works for me. And to me, it's just my me time every day, and I love it. Lots of questions about the vegan diet, being plant-based. I'm going to address this all in a dedicated video next month. Are you watching Game of Thrones? We are really behind. I think we're like 4 seasons behind. We will catch up sometime. How many carats is your wedding ring? This one? I think it's about 1 and a little bit, like 1.1, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I've had this ring for 15 years, 14, almost 15 years. 15 years this May, I will have had this ring on my finger. I was still in college when I was wearing this ring. No, 14 years, how old? Yeah, 21, I was 21 when I got engaged. 15 years, you guys, wow. Where is it from? Tiffany. Here's a little story time. Dawn and I was home, I think for spring break. It was my junior year of school. Yeah, junior year of college. I was home for spring break, and we had been talking about marriage, and I had asked Dawn to wait until we had graduated. And I was home for spring break, and we went out to dinner. And he asked again about it and the timing of it. And I said, well, I suppose we could get engaged anytime as long as we wait to get married until I've graduated and moved back home. Like, I didn't want to get married before I moved back home because I went to school in Massachusetts. He was here in Illinois. And so that I didn't want to do that. So literally the next day he was like, okay, let's go to Tiffany and look at rings. And I was like, well, okay, you don't have to buy a Tiffany ring, but we can go there because there's styles I know I like, and you can I'll show you what I like, and then you can go find whatever. So we went into Tiffany, 21. I think this was the first ring I tried on, and I fell in love with it, and I said, this is perfect. And I emphasized to him again. I said, I know people aren't going to believe me. I said, you absolutely do not have to buy a Tiffany ring because the Tiffany markup is real. It's a huge markup for the name. It's a really great quality stone, obviously. Beautiful. Tiffany sells beautiful things. But I said, we took a picture of it and I was like, this is just something like this is great. Perfect size, and then we, all that. Then I went back to school like a few days later, and he literally went back to Tiffany like the day I went back to school and bought that exact ring that I had tried on. He's so cute. So that's my ring story. I think I'll end with this one. Does it feel strange to have lengthy conversations with a camera? No. And I'll tell you exactly why. I think I can do this, and I think I'm relatively good at it. I have a very, very active imagination. I have a very active inner dialogue, and I always have. And honestly, I have spent a lot of time on my own, in my own head, having lots of conversations with myself. So having conversations with a camera comes very, very, very naturally to me, and that's why I always say that this is the most me I am. On camera, this is like very authentic me. This is very genuine me. I'm never faking it. I'm never acting. Like I feel like I'm much less authentic in my everyday interactions even. Not with everybody, but I feel like I'm just much more free. I'm free to be me on camera. And that, I think a lot of that is just my personality and a lot of experience as an introvert with social anxiety who doesn't go out much. Things are, like I said, things are shifting. I've definitely, as I've talked about a lot this past year, made great strides in anxiety, and my introvertness is definitely shifting. Oh, it's shifting. In fact, I was just talking to my therapist about this. I still talk to my therapist once a week. I swear by it. I think everybody should have a therapist. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I was just talking to her about this week, and she was saying, I bet if you took the Myers-Briggs again, that your introvert, where you are on the introvert scale would have shifted a bit. And I think you're right. Because historically, I've taken the Myers-Briggs a few times over the past, decade, 12, 14, whatever years. And I've always been at the very, 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 very far end of the introvert scale, like as introvert as you can get almost. And I think that's shifting. So anyway, talking to a camera has helped. You guys have helped me. I think I'll end it right there. I hope this was interesting in some way to you, me blabbing on and on. I'm sorry it was so long. I always have so much to say. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you are well. I love you guys. You really do. I want you to know that you really do make a difference in my life. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed meeting and seeing those of you I have seen before last weekend in the conference in Vegas, or I guess it's 2 weekends ago now. It means so much to me, and that's why I don't want you to hesitate to come say hi if you want to, if you ever see me anywhere. Because it means so much to me to put faces to names, and I don't know, it just makes the connection real. It already is real, but it makes it tangible real. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be back with the mudroom, I promise, at the end of the week, and I will see you guys then. Take care, you guys. Bye.